Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick update here regarding Bitcoin from our earlier video. We talked previously about the price breaking through the cloud, how important that was. Obviously, we're at this point where the price action is well above the cloud. Likely good entry target here coming up soon. And I say soon because obviously, trying to buy the top can be difficult, but also we may want to consider that too. All right. So again, we're going to look at a few key factors here, some backend data really quick, just to kind of spice things up, so to speak, and see what the liquidation levels are telling us. Probably not a whole heck of a lot, but we can see some shorts getting liquidated here. The shorts everywhere between 42,300 upwards of 43,500. So that's actually a lot more liquidations than I expected. So again, keep in mind, still a heavy amount at 39,700 for longs, and of course a larger amount, roughly the same actually, right around 45K. Okay, so we're closer to that level. There's a stronger chance we'll see that retest, especially when we had Feds leaving interest rates unchanged. This was basically the first couple minutes of the interest rates not actually changing. So it's fantastic to kind of see that. So of course, great news to all. And in that sense, again, I've been bullish on Bitcoin for a while. We haven't lost our ascending trend either. So really, nothing's changed too much with that dramatic decrease from a couple days ago. Just a natural sell-off that came closer to 40,000. Hope you all added to your bags between 41 and 42. I know I did. Recommended we did as well too. I sent that out on my Twitter a couple times, but regardless, again, it doesn't mean the price is going to shoot straight up from here, and it doesn't mean it can't still come back down. You got to recognize this too, just to kind of throw some information out at you here. If we take a look at CME futures, we can see there's a pretty significant CME gap left from 39.5 roughly to the 40,400 mark, right where the price wicked down on Monday/Sunday night. Okay, so again, there's some things there that could definitely still take place. We'll extend that out and keep an eye on it, of course, but this is positive nonetheless. All right, so let's try not to get too ahead of ourselves, but we'll double check a few key factors. Again, that is a good thing to have the interest rates unchanged. And if I recall correctly too, he mentioned that the rates in the future might be coming down too. We might have some decreases in rates, which would be even better for us. All right. So again, daily time frame is looking great. Just a quick update there. Nothing too different. We were maintaining above the 20-day SMA. This ascending trend line is looking pretty good. Okay. When we take a look at some other factors here, we can see we haven't fully converged yet on the MACD. So truth be told, we're not truly bullish, but a lot of good signs here so far. Price staying above 50 on the RSI, and of course the stochastic kind of, I wouldn't say swinging upwards, but it's trying. Okay, we got to give it that. So good job trying there, a little moving average there. So we're going to take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. We're still getting rejected by the 20-day SMA. Sorry, that's the 50-day. We're above the 20. We maintained above the 100. That basically held the price action in place. So all great signs here in the overall sense of things. However, we just got to recognize not being above that 50-day SMA might pose a potential problem. I really don't think it's a huge issue, honestly, but it is something we just kind of want to be mindful of. We can see stochastic is swinging up very hard, very fast. So with this increase here, we could very well see a shift in momentum, perhaps even, I wouldn't say the price dropping, but it could very well lower to the next high, the most recent high, and effectively retest that as a low. Again, that's pretty common, but being above 50 on the RSI is extremely important. We talked about that earlier today. Having not been above that earlier today, we didn't have confirmation to want to take a trade. Again, it would have been a gamble to effectively get in because we don't know what those rates would have looked like, or the meeting would have been here as well. That said, converging the MACD nicely here the last 8 hours has been fairly strong, more so the last 4 hours. So mostly positive stuff here on the 4-hour time frame. We're not overextended at all. We are range bound for the moment. Now we're up to a 3. Hypothetically, we got another 24, 28 to maybe 32 hours of continuation to the upside. Okay. As far as liquidity is concerned, this lower level liquidity has already previously been swept. We talked about that earlier today. And then, of course, as well, if you take a look at fair value, there is a fair value gap now, roughly at about 42K, upwards of 42.6. So that could be the place in which the price action wants to pull back and potentially bounce. Okay. Now, if we take a look at Elliott Wave here, it is still expecting, again, the price action potentially pull back with our ABC pattern. We've got our A, we're looking for our B, and potential C. Keep in mind, this can be invalidated if the price action breaks above 44,700. Okay, so just keep in mind, Elliott Wave is not 100%, but it's a larger probability than it isn't. If that makes any sense, right? So I'm not saying that the sky is going to fall, but we do got to be mindful. There's still a couple of reasons maybe not to get too hard on some long positions. While it is nice and good, the price action's in the 43,000 range. We're barely here. We haven't been here for long. And again, sometimes that the newness wears off. Just like when you're dating somebody or a lot of other examples of when you buy something brand new and a couple months later you could care less about it. Right? That's basically Bitcoin right now. It's exciting, it's fun, everyone's buying in, but the realism hasn't set in yet. Okay, so just be mindful. Something could very well change here in the near future for Bitcoin. And again, just keep your head on straight. But take a look here at the Ichimoku Cloud. All green lights here to leave your long position open if you have one. You may want to consider a long position, but me personally, a pullback of 2% would be nicer before I take entry, but it's never a guarantee it's going to pull back. So, why wait, I guess, too, if you think about it that way, right? So a lot of different schools of thought here, but if we take a look at TD sequential, we are overextended here. We're at a 9+2, while Bitcoin doesn't necessarily just turn around at a 9. It'll typically consolidate and go sideways. So we saw a 9 here previously. Price did turn around, but continued lower. Same thing here as well. We hit a 9 there. It turned itself around. So we have two potential scenarios. The price either dips down and goes up again, or it just keeps on going up. All right, so I think the probability of price pulling back significantly is fairly low. But again, we still got to remember CME gap, tons of liquidation at lower levels there. There's a lot of little things that kind of add up on the background that don't show up on the charts that we should just be aware of. Okay, all the more reason just to make sure you adjust your stop loss higher as you take profit. Try not to get super greedy in this market. And honestly, just dollar cost average wherever possible. That's my recommendation in general for Bitcoin. So that's the 2 cents I got there for you. Last thing I want to recommend is, of course, be sure to check out the best exchange in the country, world, etc. Probably universe too at this point. And a $5,500 bonus if you use my link to register. Phenomenal exchange, no KYC, no VPN. Be sure to check them out. And also, again, congrats to our community members here. We just cashed in on an ICP long, 153%. And of course, Cardano, 74% in 2 days, or you could round up and say 3 days. So that was a nice little trade we took just before the price dumped on Sunday. And we wrote it out like a champ with low leverage and preferably low position sizing. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great one. Do me a favor, like the video before you go, and have yourself a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.